Christway, day 4, we're in John 4. It's Jesus and the woman at the well, and it's my favorite chapter on worship. It's Jesus talking about worship. So to set the scene, Jesus and the disciples are on their way from Judea to Galilee, walking, of course, and it's about 64 miles, and probably took them about a week. Rough terrain, hot weather, probably got pretty worn out. So they stop at some point in that time at a well where Jesus meets a Samaritan woman. So Jesus asks her for a drink of water from the well, and she says, she's very surprised. She says, why are you talking to me? Jews didn't typically talk to Samaritan people at all, much less a man talking to a woman out in public. And he says, if you knew who I was, you'd be asking me for water. And then he goes on to explain living water, how if we drink from his water, we'd never thirst again. And so, of course, she wants this living water. And Jesus says, go tell your husband. And she says, well, I don't have a husband. And Jesus continues to tell her about her life and her love life, and stuff that she didn't tell him before. And so her hearing that, she assumed that he was a prophet, definitely somebody of God. And what I love is that she just thinks about after hearing that, she thinks about the most spiritual question that she can ask. And she says, Jews worship in the temple and we worship on the mountain, which is correct, which is right. And I just love how Jesus answers this question. So pick it up in verse 21. It says, Jesus said to her, woman, believe me, the hour is coming when neither on this mountain or in Jerusalem will you worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We worship what we know, for salvation is from the Jews. But the hour is coming and is now here when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father is seeking such people to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. And so understand when he says spirit, he's not meaning the Holy Spirit. He's meaning our spirit within us, like our heart. Worship him here. Doesn't have to be in a place necessarily. But we worship, God looks at the heart, we worship here. And then truth being what he says, who he is, who his word says he is, the truth about who God is. And the more we know about him, the more we can worship. So he's saying worship from your heart and worship truly who I am. And that's our goal every Sunday. But I love her response. And once she hears it's Jesus, once she hears all this, her response is, I got to go tell somebody. So then she just goes and tells everybody. So Christway, have a good day. Let's keep that in mind. Worship in spirit and truth and tell people about him.